We're going to break down the whole NFL board with Dave Mason from BetOnline. The usual suspects are back. We got Gotham City Vig, Batman. We got the Philly Rooster, Matt from the College Kids, and the 8-Ball. Running a little late today, but let's get right down to business. Let's start off with game 451, 452 on your sports betting screen. Minnesota travels to Detroit. Minnesota, big favorite here, road favorite. BetOnline right now, 7 minus 20. The total's set at 47 minus 15 cents. Dave, how are they betting this one?
Vikings about 70 or no, 68% of the early actions on Minnesota, 81% on the under. This going to be a heavy teaser game too. Sitting there at 7, everybody's going to be teasing that down.
So are you guys already getting a bunch of teaser money on Minnesota here?
Yeah, and of course most of it will pile in the next few days. So, but yeah, it'll be this is going to be a teaser heavy board with tonight's game and Minnesota and the Cardinals and all those 7.6-point favorites.
Yeah, they're all running wild. Let me go to Rooster first. Rooster, you got an opinion on this matchup? Do you like a side or a total?
Well, welcome back, guys. And yes, I do have an opinion on this game. I think the 0-10 Lions, although they're 0-10, they're going to hang with this team like they've done a lot this year. They have had at least 3 good chances to win, and you can argue as many as 5. They're at home. Like I said, they're not playing terrible. I'm not crazy about the way the Vikings are playing. Beginning of the year, there was a couple games they could have won. They should have beat Arizona. They should have beat a couple other teams. But I like Detroit at home here getting a touchdown. They may not win the game, but again, I think this is going to be close late. And barring any garbage time touchdown by the Vikings, I think Detroit covers this spread.
Wow, let me go to 8-Ball. 8-Ball, do you feel the same way, or do you have a different opinion on this match?
Yeah, I like the Lions here at home. These two teams played earlier this year. The Vikings had a game-winning field goal, I think, with 30 seconds left. And Detroit's hung around this year with a bunch of teams, the Ravens, a couple other teams as well. And then you look at the Vikings; they haven't really, blown anyone out, gotten away from any teams during this season. All their games have been, basically a one-possession game. So I like Detroit here again, the +7 at home.
Maddie from the College Kids, how do you feel about this game? Can you hear us? I can't hear you, Matt. Something's wrong with your volume. Let me go to Batman. Batman, how are you going to bet this one? Are you betting the dog here? Or are you betting the favorite? Are you betting the total? What's going on?
Well, I didn't take +7. I bet Detroit -2.5 +375 is what I bet. So I bet the alternate line. Of course, I'm going to bet the money line. Of course, I'm going to bet +7. This is in my opinion, this is their game to win. I really believe that if they don't win,
we say that every damn week, don't we?
They're on 16. I believe that. I mean, I was off Detroit on on a couple of games, but I like Detroit. I think it's a great spot for them. I think they match up really well. I think Minnesota's pass rush is. Their offensive line is really bad as far as kind of protecting in the run game. They're going to be – I know that they'll have their backup running back. I know he's a great player. I understand that. But still, man, when you don't have Dalvin Cook, that's a problem. Dalvin Cook is a superstar in this league. He's one of the best guys to do it. And you're going to have a reduced running back game. They're off the most physical game they have played the entire year in the San Francisco 49ers. That was one of the most violent hitting games I've seen this entire season. They're going to be beat up. I'm with Rooster. I'm with 8-Ball. I'm assuming I'm with Matt. I love Detroit +7. I like their money line, and I bet them alternate 2 as well to win the game.
Wow, they got a -115-point differential on the year. And every week, I mean, it seems like we're betting. I mean, they're not bad against the spread this year. If you bet them blindly, I think you've made some money with Detroit. What a tough game to bet here, man. I mean, has the team given up? Did you guys see that meme with Dan Campbell when he first announced he was a coach? He was all cleaned up in his suit, and they show him all beat up. It's the funniest meme in the world. I mean, you got to take Detroit here +7. It's the right side. I just don't know if it cashes. Maddie, can you hear us yet or no?
Yeah, my mic was on mute by mistake.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah, I didn't like much on this game. I actually stood away from this game. I mean, you take Detroit +7. I know all you guys love it, and I respect it, and I think that's the right time.
All right, let's go to the next game on the board. Game 453, 454. Arizona travels to Chicago. Another game that Dave's probably going to be top heavy with a bunch of teasers here. 7.5 across your screen. Bet online right now 7.5, and the total set at 43.5. Dave, is there any sharp money on the side or a total? And how's the public betting this one?
Negative on the sharp stuff yet. 64% on the Cardinals, 71% on the under. And yeah, absolutely, this is going to be a teaser game big time.
Brewster, this week coming up with all these games, right around 7. Are you betting teasers this week, or has the NFL gone completely, in a different direction? Early in the year, we were cashing teasers left and right, and it seems like over the last couple of weeks got a little tougher. How are you playing this week?
Yeah, I mean, I always look for the key numbers. I gave out a couple last week. My ultimate teaser is a 7-point laying flat minus 110, 7.5 point teaser that gets you to a half. So when I see that, I jump on those automatically. Now I have a guy that I can lay 110. I'm sure Dave's minus 120, like most people, and that changes the math a little bit. But yeah, there's going to be some teasers in my future this week as long as that number hits.
All right. Do you like anyone in this game? I mean, Arizona's laying 7.5. It's a tough place to play in Chicago. And I know the public's going to be all over Arizona here.
I'm with you, and here's the problem. I like almost all the home dogs this week. And I know that all these crazy underdogs winning outright isn't going to continue, but the home field advantage is coming back around. It really went away during COVID. It was a little weak at the beginning of this year, and now all of a sudden I'm starting to see the trend. And I think it's going to even out by the end of the year, and home field advantage is going to be worth 3 points. So I like the Bears here plus 7.5, just like I like the Lions plus 7.5. I mean, the Cardinals are good. They're not overpowered. Teams have kind of figured them out a little bit. And again, the Bears are competitive at home. I like the Bears here plus 7.5.
Yeah, I know road teams have been covering early, but lately you're starting to see the pendulum swing the other way a little bit, like Rooster was saying. Let me go to the 8-ball here. 8-ball, do you like anyone in this matchup?
I like the Bears here at home. Kyler Murray hasn't played in a few weeks, so I don't think we're going to see vintage Kyler Murray here. First game back, playing on the road. So if I played anything on this game, it would be the Bears, but I haven't touched it as of now.
Let me go to Matty from the college kids. Matt, do you feel the same way?
I was actually leaning Arizona. The only problem is there's going to be some weather most likely in this game with some rain, some winds. So that's kind of scaring me a little bit on Arizona's end because Kyle Murray, he's always playing in a dome. Arizona's always playing it over there. And now they're going to Chicago where it's going to be cold. It's going to be raining and windy. It's going to be a tough game. So I want to see more on the weather aspect.
Rooster, we always talked about when the weather's real bad, these big dogs become live. I mean, it's anyone's matchup. Do you feel the same way if the weather gets real bad here in Chicago against Arizona?
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like it's going to be real bad. Real bad to me is driving rain or snow with heavy wind. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case. It's going to be cold. But, yeah, I mean, wind is a major factor. We all know that, and it turns it into a running game and a touchdown game. So no field goals, and kickers become important. You got a strong kicker, it's huge, and a strong running back is huge.
Batman, do you like anyone here? Arizona versus Chicago?
So, I was just kind of checking the weather because I checked it a couple of days ago, and it looked like we were going to get some really nice home field advantage with that weather, and I think there's still some weather expected here. And, Soldier Field is not the cleanest field, right, when we have bad weather. You tend to see I don't know that I would call it lower scoring games, but closer games just because of the weather and stuff. And I think it's going to be wet and a little bit windy, and it's definitely going to be a little bit colder. And I mean, I think that plays to the Bears' advantage. I still don't know. I don't know if any of you guys know, but is Andy Dalton still trending to play? I know that Justin Fields has practiced, but it looked like that it looked like Dalton was taking the first team snaps. Does anybody know this?
Yeah, he was taking first team snaps. He's expected to start. It's not for certain yet, but Fields has practiced.
Yeah, and if Andy Dalton plays, I mean, I like the Bears' chances a little bit better, to be honest with you. Anything above a touchdown, I think the Bears is the right side in the game. So I agree with you guys. If it's 7.5 or 8, I would like it as long as there's some weather. I think it's a good spot.
Red Rifle. All right, let's go to the next game on screen. 4:55, 4:56, Tampa Bay against a real bad Atlanta Falcons team. Right now, bet online, I'm seeing on 11 and 51 on the total. Dave Mason, is there any sharp money on the side or a total here?
Nothing sharp, no. Total with actions 50-50, and on the side it's 57% on the Falcons.
8 ball, Tampa Bay. Can they repeat again? Are they going to cover this spread? I mean, are they going to go on a deep run here with Tom Brady? Are they the same team they were last year? How do you feel about their chances in this matchup and actually getting to the Super Bowl again?
I think they're starting to peak now. You saw them put up about 30, 35 points on the Giants. They put up another 40 last week on the Colts. This week they're playing an Atlanta team. They already hung 45 up early on the season. I think they're starting to mesh more on offense. They're still missing Antonio Brown, so they'll need to get him back. But for the Falcons, they've been playing well. But against these higher-powered offenses like Tampa and Dallas, they've given up 40-plus to these teams. So I like Tampa this week minus the 11.
Let me go to Matty from the College Kids. Matt, how do you feel about this matchup?
It's a tough game. I mean, last time we saw what happened with the first game when Atlanta played them. And then, as 8 ball said, Dallas, these high-powered offenses, they don't perform as well against these teams. I think Vita Vea is going to play. I'm pretty sure Devin White, linebacker, he's going to play. We'll see. I think he was full participation in practice today. I mean, this line has crossed up to 11, I believe now. If you could have cashed 10, that's a great number to get. Otherwise, I'm staying off.
Rooster, no Antonio Brown for a couple weeks. I think he's been suspended for the fake vaccination card or something's going on. I'm not sure. And then I think their safety is as well. Does Tampa Bay? I mean, it's a big number on the road, man. It's the NFL. Does Tampa Bay cover the spread? Are you like the dog again? Are the dogs barking here or what?
I love the home dogs this week. I mean, this spread is way too high. The Bucs, I don't see where they've been playing better. Last week, they could have lost that game against the Colts. Yeah, they put up some points against the Giants. The Giants are terrible. I mean, Brady is making throws this year that I've never seen the guy make, and I'm not his biggest fan, but he is throwing the ball into the ground. He's missing receivers. He's missing crossing routes, which he's never done in his career.
Not the playoffs yet.
On the road is ridiculous. This game, I like Atlanta a lot here. It's my second biggest bet of the week.
Wow.
Do you think big part of that is their guard, Ali Marpet? He's been out for a couple games, in and out hurt. And I believe he's going to play. We'll see who's limited in practice. If he plays,
isn't Brady the favorite for MVP?
Antonio Brown changes this team completely. He's huge for this team.
Wait, 8 ball, what did you say, Tom? Brady,
isn't Brady the favorite for MVP?
Not anymore. Not after 5 turnovers in 2 games. How's the favorite for the MVP?
Last I checked this morning, he was. I don't know if it's
Hey, what are the odds?
Yeah, Brady is 3-1, followed by Josh Allen at 4-1, and Rodgers at 6-1.
Fucking prick got me last week. I love Tom Brady, but I'm sitting there. I bet the Colts early plus 3.5, and they're going down the field. I'm thinking, all right, they're going to kick a field goal and win, and he stuck it right to us, Batman. Batman, how do you feel about him this week?
I can't get over that game, man. I can't get over it. We've been giving out a lot of winners, and you're up, 11.5, 10, 11, 12, whatever it was. And I just can't get over how in the second half at home, they did the same thing to the Tennessee Titans earlier. Do we all remember this?
Yeah.
I mean, the exact same thing happened. They played Tennessee great in the first half. And
Ravens
dominated the game. The same thing happened. And then the second half, it's like Carson Wentz literally sees a deer in the headlights. I mean, it's the same repetition seen three times this year. And, only against good teams, not against bad teams does this happen. Yeah. But, I mean, it's just incredible to me.
And we all know you can't afford to make mistakes against Tom Brady, Aaron Rodgers. You turn the ball over once or twice, it's a wrap, man, right?
It's a wrap. When the NFL is such a momentum game, right? When you get the momentum, and after they scored and they got that turnover, I instantly knew I needed to live bet Tampa Bay to curl down on that Indy. I knew it, Indy bet instantaneously. I had to do it a little bit. So, yeah, not good. This game's interesting to me for the simple fact that Tom Brady kills bad teams this year, and he's struggling against the better teams in closer games. I don't really have a side here. I do agree with Rooster that this seems quite a bit high. But just from a metric standpoint, the Atlanta Falcons are the worst metric NFL team this year, and it is not even close. I mean, I've never seen statistics like on their offensive line, their defensive line, their pressure sack rate, moving the football, line yards given up. I mean, they are terrible. I got to tell you, man, I think that the play is the Tampa Bay team total over. I think Tampa's going to score every time they have the football in this game.
Yeah,
So,
I mean, for a team that's a game below 500, I think their point differential is over negative like 105 or something. So they're really bad, even though their record doesn't show that. Their point differential really tells you how weak this team is on the offensive and defensive side.
And like Rooster said, I mean, this line is so much. I got no problem with like him loving Atlanta. I mean, it's 2 touchdowns, to cover this game. That's 2 possessions. So, Cordarrelle Patterson is expected to play. He's been Atlanta's everything, and he absolutely has to play. And the other thing I'll say real quick is there's a lot of questionable injuries on this Tampa Bay game, and I just re-looked again. I mean, they've got 7 guys that are questionable again. We got to know who's playing on Sunday, and maybe Rooster has a beat on all those injuries. And if he's right and these guys don't play, 11.5, man, that's a gold mine. So he might be right if these guys don't play.
Yeah, and Rooster, I mean, against a team like Atlanta, even if the guys maybe could play, I mean, isn't it beneficial for that team to rest some of the guys and not let them play? Because Atlanta is so bad, you can win without those guys anyway. Doesn't that happen a lot in the NFL?
Absolutely. I mean, if they were playing, Green Bay this week, and although, I mean, Tampa Bay doesn't really need to win, their schedule gets a little easier after this. But yeah, absolutely, they're going to rest these guys. There's no reason to play them.
Yeah. All right, let's go next game on the screen. 457, 458. Kansas City starting to catch fire. Back in first place. They've been moving the ball all season long. Top 5 in yards per drive. Yards per play, they've been good. Their turnover differential has been the problem. A lot of turnovers, and now they're starting to limit that. Denver rolls into Kansas City. The point spread at Bet Online, they're getting double digits here, 10 points. Total set at 47, which seems a little high. Dave Mason from Bet Online. Is there any sharp money on the side or a total? And how's the public betting this one?
Broncos. Everybody's on the Broncos. 71% of the action's on the Broncos. 82% on under. Nothing sharp yet.
Let me go to Rooster first. Rooster, you like the dog here? I hate to be on the public side. I mean, that's a lot. It seems like it's a dog with fleas here. I don't know. It kind of scares me when the whole public's on the dog. He usually never covers. Who do you like here?
Well, that actually surprises me because if the Squares were going to be on a big favorite this week, you'd think it would be a home team. I mean, it's still tough to play there, but I like the dog here as well. I mean, I guess I'm with the public on this one, but the Chiefs, look, I was on them not last week because we weren't on the show, but the previous 2 weeks against most of you guys, because I agree the Chiefs are not that good this year. But in this particular situation, I'm not on the Chiefs. I like Denver. I already took 10. If 10 pops up again, I'm going to bet some more. I think the Chiefs win this game, but they're not going to cover it. The Chiefs are not the same Chiefs team, and Mahomes is not the same Mahomes. So, I like Denver plus 10.
Let me go to 8-Ball. 8-Ball, how do you feel about this matchup?
I don't love this game, but I have to lean Denver as well. I mean, they've limited some high-power offenses this year. The Dallas game kept them to, I think, 3 or 7 points. Chargers game, you saw they did to Justin Herbert last week. So they've had their games where they've played well. And the Chiefs team, they're not a good team in my opinion. Laying double digits on them, I wouldn't do it.
Let me go to Matty from the College Kids. Matt, how do you feel about this game?
Yeah, actually, KC minus 9.5. I think the exact number for the Broncos on the injury report, I think they have 17 people on their injury report. They have like 5 different offensive linemen. I know Bradley Chubb's on the injury report. I got to check his status today if he fully practiced or not. I think he was limited yesterday. So they have some trouble there. KC's starting to get a little bit healthy now, and KC's starting to roll a little bit, covered against the spread more because they started off so bad. I like KC in this spot minus 9.5. I think, they're moving the ball all year, a couple of fumbles here, there, bad, bounces that really plagued them early on. I think they start to get rolling again, and I think they cover this game.
Batman, who do you like here?
The one metric that I know that we can take advantage of in the NFL is cluster injuries in key important spots. And I've tried to kind of find a number to cluster injuries that I think we need to try to make sense of. I think there's a metric out there that makes this sense. It's linebacking core, defensive line, and offensive line. And I've been really trying to find the number of injuries per position that I think really throws the game in our favor. I've really been studying this kind of quietly by myself for about 2 years. And when I see 3 or more offensive line come in, I mean, I've seen a cover rate somewhere around 74% in the NFL from the stuff that I've kept track. And, look, maybe it's short term. All the, numbers guys, analytics guys will probably argue that. On this report that I just saw today, and kudos to Matty, he's the king of this stuff, they have 4 of their 5 offensive line that are probably not going to play in this game. If that happens, Chris Jones, who is super healthy for Kansas City, will single-handedly wreck this game. And I got to tell you, I think they run the Broncos out of this stadium. So I think that -9.5 or -10 is a great bet. I think we got to know those Denver offensive line injuries. They also have linebacker core injuries too as well in this game. 2 of the 4 questionable. And man, we got to know that for Monday night. But if these injuries stick up in that O-line, this is a Kansas City, and this is an absolute burial on Monday night.
All right, let's go next game on the screen. The Colts travel to Houston.
Sunday night. My apologies.
Colts travel to Houston here. Colts let us down last week. Houston's been playing some pretty good football with that big win 2 weeks ago. All right, line's what? 10 at Bet Online. Total's at 45, which seems kind of short. Dave Mason, is there any sharp money on a side or a total here? And how's the public betting it?
There was some on Indy at about 7.5. Like you said, it's up to 10 now. 61% of the action's on the Colts, and 63% on the under.
I'm going to Rooster first. Rooster, you going to back Carson Wentz again this week or no?
I'm staying off this game. I'm done with Wentz. I was done with him in Philly. He broke my heart last week too. The Texans, I just can't put money on them. They're on my no bet list. They could show up and have a real stinker. I did go under 47 as soon as this game opened. Although the Colts put up points last week, I have a feeling this is going to be a low-scoring game. I went under 47, which is a key number. I usually do when I see those key numbers as opening numbers. So just the under here for me.
All right, let me go to 8 Ball after you. You back in Wentz here this week, or are you going to stay off?
I don't love the game. If I had to take a side, I lean Texans here. I don't think the Colts secondary has played well. Last time they played this team, they covered the number, but Davis Mills was starting. Tyrod Taylor's back this week. I think he's able to move the ball on that team and keep up.
Matty from the college kids, do you like anybody here, or are you staying off the game?
Yeah, last time we saw, division game. Last time we saw Indy beat this team. Houston, I think they're going to be able to move the ball here a little bit. I don't have too much on the side here. Houston has some defensive linemen now, or at least on the injury report, they're, limited in practice, not practicing, whatnot. I kind of like the over if this game gets to 44, that number. I know it's at 45 right now. It's just I think Houston's going to be able to move the ball to Tyrod Taylor on this Indy pass defense that isn't that great. And I think Wentz, he's been moving the ball all year. And I don't think this Houston team's anything special. Their defense, especially with those defensive linemen out if they don't play. I kind of like the over. If I can get 44, that's a gold mine.
Yeah, it makes sense if Houston can't get no pressure on Wentz. He should be able to move the ball, put some points up. Batman, who do you like here?
If I had to choose a side, it'd be the Texans plus the 10, I think is what it is, 9.5.
Yeah, it's 10. It's up to 10.
Yeah, I would have the Texans if I had to have a side here and stuff like that. I don't have any side on this game, but coming off that really heartbreaking physical game loss with the schedule that they've played here recently with the travel, this is a huge letdown spot, I think, for the Colts, in my opinion. I think the Houston first half might be worth a look to as well, that they might start slow and need to come on. And Indy's got a lot of injuries in this game, man. I think you got to be really careful playing the Colts here, in my opinion, in this game.
Yeah. All right, let's go back to Dave Mason from Bet Online. Philly, our team, the Eagles, travel to play the New York Jets, laying a big number on the road. I mean, I don't know why Philly's favored by 7 against anyone in the NFL here. I see a 7. I see Bet Online 6.5. A little juice, -12. Total set at 45. Is there any sharp money on the side or a total here, Dave?
Negative on the sharp action. 57% on the Eagles. 55% is on the under.
Rooster, Jets money line?
Again, I'm back to my home dogs. I skipped the Texans, but I'm back to my home dogs here. The Eagles are just not a good football team. They showed it against the Giants. As soon as they match up against a defensive scheme, which I think the Jets are going to put in place. Jalen Hurts does not know what to do. He looks completely lost. He passes when he should run, and he runs when he should pass. It's the goofiest thing I've ever seen. The Giants tried to hand them that game 5 times, and Jalen Hurts refused to take it. Now, yeah, Rieger dropped a couple balls, but that wasn't the point. Sirianni told him, take the game over, and the kid just can't do it. He's not the guy. I like the Jets here at home, and I'm with you. I'm going to be sprinkling on the money line, and I may even look into my first alternate line bet now that
It's contagious.
I'm tired. I gotta go. I'm out. This is my moment. This is my highlight of my whole life right here.
This shit's contagious. Let me go to Maddie from the college kids. Matt, who do you like here? You like the Birds or you going to fly with the
I hate,
Jets?
rooting against my own Philadelphia Eagles, but I like the dog here. I'm with Rooster. I think Robert Salah is going to devise a good game plan on Jalen Hurts. And, Philly's been running the ball really well. But I think Salah's going to come up with a game plan to stop that run, force Hurts to throw the ball. So I think that +7 is appetizing.
Yeah, I mean, you got a team that should be laying 7 points, and they're laying 7 points on the road, and you got a short total. I see 44.5, 45. 8 ball. Who do you like here, man?
Love the Jets. I mean, I don't think the Eagles should be laying 7 against anyone at home or on the road. They were on the road against Detroit earlier this year. They were laying 3, and now they're laying 7 against the Jets, which those teams are pretty similar, I love the dog here +7.
All right, did we get everyone there? Batman, can you give a pick on this? I don't know. I'm a little brain.
Man, I can't even speak now after Rooster. He got it. He said, "No, man."
He threw us all off. Right? He threw us all off.
No. This is great. This is my. You know the song they play at the NCAA, "One Shining Moment." I'm the only dude that stays up till 1:30 in the morning after the championship game and listens to that goddamn song every year. This is it. I like the Jets here. I think it's good. The only question I have for you guys is, I thought that Jalen Hurts was not going to play in this game. Am I right on that, or?
He said he's going to play. The coach hasn't made an official statement on it.
I know he's banged up.
Thanks so much. I had Gardner Minshew. From all the data that I could read down here, I had Minshew playing in this game. He's not as athletic, and that doesn't mean it. I think it's a little bit of a downgrade, if anything. I don't think that's an upgrade in my opinion. The Jets have beat some really good teams at home this year. I mean, they beat the Titans and the Bengals inside that home stadium. I'm with the boys here, +7. It's a great play. I like it.
Yeah, and if Jalen Hurts doesn't play, I mean, he hides so many inefficiencies on that offensive line. If Minshew gets in there, whatever that is, Minshew, he's like a statue. He's a little bit of a prop. But
I think the other thing I just read too is I think Jason Kelce might not play in this game. He didn't practice today, and he is extremely questionable. And man, you guys know this way better than I do, and I don't want to misspeak on your team, but he's the key leader of that offensive line. And if Jason Kelce is not playing in that football game, this will be one of the biggest bets for sure of me of the week. He's the leader. He's the king.
There it is there. All right, let's go next game. Chargers at Cincinnati. Cincinnati looking like a real complete squad here. They look like they maybe make a deep run in the playoffs, and they're capable of beating anyone. I mean, they should have beat the Packers. Let's go to Dave Mason from Bet Online. How are they betting this game?
Cincy, 64% on Cincy, 68% on over, and we took some sharp action on Cincinnati as well, -2.5.
Rooster, you looking to nibble on some +3.5 on the Chargers here, or you like the favorite?
I absolutely am. I think this is an overreaction of the line. This game opened 1. I made it a pick. I thought it was going to be a no bet for me, and then the public came in, started laying 1.5 and 2. Once it got to 2.5, that sharp money is just playing the middle. They're seeing this line go up, saying, you know what, I'm going to jump in now at -2.5, and if it goes to 3.5, I got a nice middle. If not, they got a gold number. So that sharp money at -2.5 does not scare me at all. I've been doing it for 30 years, jumping in at -2.5 on games that are going up. I like the Chargers here, getting a field goal. I think I got the better team, and I think the Bengals are ready for a letdown here.
Let me go to 8 ball. Justin Herbert or Joe Burrow?
I got to agree with Rooster here. I think the Chargers are way too talented to keep coming up short. They've been, they haven't played up to their standards the last couple of weeks. I think they show up here and they take this game.
Maddie from the college kids. Who do you like?
Yeah, I like the Chargers +3. I think they can actually win. I like the money line as well. Big thing is offensive line, in my opinion, as Batman was talking about. They have a center that did not practice, a tackle that did not practice, Riley Reed. and center Trey Hopkins. That's his name, Trey Hopkins. And I think I have the better quarterback as much as I respect Burrow. So I have a better O-line, better quarterback in my opinion. I also have a D-line that's top 10 in pressure rate this year. I like the Chargers +3, like a money line as well.
Batman, we talking about a money line parlay? Jets and Chargers? What are we talking about here?
Man, I don't see what they see. I don't.
What's
The
your
Bengals at
hometown?
2.5.
Is that a little hometown bias?
No, I don't want to say it is, but I'm really a harsh critic, and I usually don't back the Bengals. But here's the thing in this spot. I'm just going to look at this from a matchup standpoint. The defensive line, if you look at the defensive line, the Bengals have a way better defensive line in this game, significantly. Okay. Larry Ogunjobi is maybe one of the most underrated players in the entire NFL. He is dominating. The big injury, I think, this week for the Chargers is no Linval Joseph. They have no guy in the middle to stop the run. They have no pressure. The Chargers have underperformed on the defensive side. They're playing that soft cover zone. You cannot let Joe Burrow see zone. He will kill you. I love the Bengals in this spot. I bet him at 2.5. I think it's the right side. And that's what I bet this week. Because I think that Mixon is 150 plus with no Linval Joseph. They can't stop these Bengals from running on him, in my opinion.
I mean, they did tear us a new one last week against the Steelers, so might be right there. All right, let's go to the next game on the board. Giants travel to Miami. Seems like when teams go to Miami, they run out of gas. They're in Miami. Bet online right now has Miami -4, which seems a little high. Total set at 40.5. Dave Mason, is there any sharp money on the side or a total? And how's the public betting this one?
Nothing sharp as of yet. 60% on the Dolphins and 53% on over.
Rooster, you backing the Giants again this week, or are you going to go with the Dolphins here?
I'm not touching this game. I made the game 3, which would say I lean Giants a little bit just because it's a key number. But I really don't trust the Dolphins. I don't trust the Giants. The Giants, they're coming off a win, but I don't trust either team. I'm staying away from this game. I don't like anything on the total. It's sitting at 40.5. 41's the key number. This is a no bet for me all the way around the board.
Let me go to 8-ball. 8-ball, the Giants coming off a big win that surprised a lot of people except for us because we were all over them plus the points on the money line. But the Eagles did have, 4 turnovers in that matchup. Can they do it again this week in Miami?
I love Miami here. I wish I got the 2.5, but I still love it at 4. Mike Glennon, he's not Daniel Jones. The running ability is gone. Miami's been playing some great defense. Tua is actually playing really good the last couple of weeks. I don't see how Mike Glennon's going to, tear up that secondary that features Howard, Byron Jones, Holland. I think they're peaking right now, and I love Miami here.
Matty, we got 2 teams here with similar records, similar point differentials. Who do you like?
Well, originally with Daniel Jones, I was liking the Giants a lot. If we look at the last 4 games or so, Miami's been on a run the last couple of games. I mean, they're all against teams that throw a lot of interceptions. If you look at interceptions thrown per game, it was against Lamar. They forced him to throw the ball, ended up turning it over. I think Tyrod Taylor, some other guys, and they ended up turning over the ball, and that's why Miami was winning these games. The Giants, Daniel Jones, I think he has 7 interceptions on the year, and I think 3 of them came against the Rams. So he's been pretty good at taking care of the ball. The problem is now we have McGloin coming in most likely. And I have to do a little more research on McGloin. As I do that, I'll make my wager, but I do lean Giants with the points.
Batman, one of your favorite songs. Who is it? Cool. I forget who sings it, but heels tall, bikini small. She says she likes the ocean.
It's LL Cool J, by the way. Going back to Cali.
Heels tall.
1986 or 7, I'd say.
Dave Mason with the
Look at that. Look at that. That's when I used to like rap, man. I can't listen to it anymore. That old school stuff was great, man. But I
don't think so.
I'm gonna YouTube it after this podcast. What the hell?
What do you like?
Youngins college kid there, and they don't know what the hell we're talking about.
What are you talking about?
Going back to Cali.
They think LL's an actor on TV.
Yeah, exactly. YouTube going back to Cali after this.
I heard you sing that on the Tony Bruno show, and I want you to know I almost wrecked into a tree as I was hearing you. trying to make sure I had the right side in every game that we agreed on.
I used to love that song, man.
Oh,
I
it's
had a
great,
brand new
man.
vet.
Good
He had a
video,
brand
man.
new vet. We would put the music up, top down, and cruise around.
Hell yeah.
If Mike Glennon plays, I love the Dolphins, man. The Dolphins are going to line up just like they did against the Baltimore Ravens. They're going to heavy run blitz Mike Glennon, make him make decisions against it with a terrible offensive line. I love the Dolphins here in this spot if Mike Glennon plays. If Mike Glennon doesn't play, in the line's 4.5, then I got to lean Daniel Jones. Mike Glennon is not an NFL quarterback, in my opinion. So if he plays 4.5 or lower, I'm on the Dolphins all day long.
Next game on the screen, 467, 468. Washington, surprisingly, with a nice, 3 or 4 game win streak. I think it's a 3-game win streak. But they're going out to Vegas. They got to stay disciplined. Game's basically, one across the screen. I see some 2s. Bet online, -1, juice -14 cents. Total set at 49, which seems a little high the way Washington's defense has been playing. Dave Mason from Bet Online. How are they betting this one?
Raiders. 70% on the Raiders, 60% on the over. Nothing too sharp as of now.
Rooster, we kind of almost ripped up our futures on Washington, but they're making a little bit of a run here, and they might be able to sneak into playoffs if they can win this game and put a couple more wins together. Who do you like in this matchup against the Raiders?
Yeah, I don't think they're going to sneak into playoffs, but I do like the way Washington's playing. We all knew at the beginning of the year they were very talented, and they've been putting the pieces together a little bit better. And the Raiders are just in total decline. They're a mess since Gruden left. They're an organization that really does not know what to do moving forward. And I'm almost an automatic bet against the Raiders every week, and this is no exception. But let me say before we move on, a couple of listeners want to know what I'm drinking tonight. This is an Alexander Valley, Sonoma County, Bordeaux. It's my first one. I got actually a listener recommended it. Absolutely outstanding. I posted a picture of it on Twitter. I'll post another one tonight.
Do you remember who recommended it, bro?
I'll go back and look. But I'm getting feedback on these wines. A lot of guys bought that machete from Orange Swift, and I mean they're loving my wines. And this one is my second favorite machete so far this season. First favorite. This is number 2. It's a Bordeaux, and it's absolutely delicious.
Power rankings. I like it.
Eight ball. Washington. I mean, do they got a shot to sneak in the playoffs? They got a shot to win this game, and if they win this game, do you think they can get back on track and maybe, like I said, sneak back in to the playoff picture?
It's possible. 4 of their last 5 games are against division opponents, so it's going to be tough down the road. But as far as this game goes, I lean Washington. I don't love a side here. I think these teams are evenly matched. But Darren Waller, he didn't practice the last 2 days. That's big for them. If Washington doesn't have to deal with him, they can key in on other guys, shut them down. I like Washington plus the 1 here. I think it's going to be a tight game.
Maddie from the college kids. Who do you like?
This game's tough. I didn't bet anything yet. I lean Washington, but I mean they have some issues on the offensive line and the injury report on a short week. But so do the Raiders. Raiders have, they have Josh Jacobs who wasn't practicing today. Waller, 2 big weapons that did not practice, 2 big key components for them. I don't know. This game's tough for me. I haven't bet anything. I'm staying off right now.
Batman, you like the under here? I mean, if Waller doesn't play, if a couple offensive components for this Raiders team doesn't play in the way Washington's football team's defense has been playing, I mean, I would think the public's all over the over here. You think the under's the play, and which side do you like?
So again, this is the cluster injury department here for the Washington Redskins offensive line. Every single one of their offensive line is questionable, and there's one reason why that is. Did anybody look at how many plays the Washington Redskins just ran? They ran 84 plays. It's the most amount of plays I've ever seen in the NFL in the last 3 years. They literally destroyed the Seattle Seahawks defense by metrically wearing them down. I've never seen anything like it. Like every play was 2.5 yards, and then they would get 4 on 3rd down, and they literally just metrically marched down the field. And every one of their offensive line is questionable. So I think the thing we all have to know is Who's playing for Washington? I mean, Washington is the side I like in this game if their offensive line plays. But again, if they have like 2 or 3 of those positions, I'm off of it. I really like the under in this game. I think 49.5 is way too much. I'd bet this down to 46.5, probably that low.
Wow. I like the under too. I like the under this matchup. All right, let's go to the next game on the board. The Ravens. They just seem to get it done. Not really that impressive this year, but their record is really impressive. They go to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh got smoked last week. We were all over Pittsburgh plus 4.5. I think the game closed 3 and didn't make a difference. Cincinnati just smoked us. Dave Mason from Bet Online. Is there any sharp money on the matchup here, and how's the public betting it?
Ravens -3 was sharp. Public's on the Ravens as well, 72%, and 65% on the under.
Rooster, when you see some sharp money on a team and the public backing it, is that usually a recipe for disaster? Or I mean, what happens in that type of situation?
It can be, but again, and I know I keep beating a dead horse here, but anything around that key number of 3, and especially in a game like this where they know everybody's given up on the Steelers and the sharp money thinks it's going to go up, you're going to jump in and lay 2.5 minus a quarter, 2.5 minus 30, whatever it is, knowing you're going to take 4, 4.5. And 4 is not a bad number in the NFL. So that wouldn't scare me. I have given up on the Steelers. I think Ben just looks like a shell of himself. It's basically a no bet for me unless I can lay 3 and nothing on the total. I think it's right on at 44. So it's no bet for me.
All right, let me go to 8-ball. 8-ball, who do you like here?
This game's tough. I lean Steelers. I mean, Lamar Jackson's playing some bad football right now. He's turning the ball over left and right. So again, +4 at home, I think is the right side.
Maddie from the College Kids. Are you making a wager in this game?
Now, I don't like anything on this game, but Jimmy just texted me. He said he has a monster for Sunday on Pitt +4.5.
Fucking sheep. He can't get on the goddamn computer, man. This is like 3 weeks in a row. Ross, what's up with sheep, dude? Like, I mean, he's technically challenged, but I don't get it.
Look, I've known Sheep, and I'm not exaggerating, since 1982. Absolutely nothing could surprise me about this guy. I could tell you stories. We should do a 3-hour podcast just on Sheep stories. So
you know, it's funny. We were talking about who was the guy we had at Wrigley Park, right, at the stands, and we're watching TV, and they show the stands, and he's not in his seat, and he's calling us up and lying to us and saying he's at the game, but he's at a bar with like 3 hookers or something. Remember that story?
yeah, he was at the hotel. He was hungover, drunk. It was a 12:05 start, and he never made it to the stadium. We had like 150,000 on the game based on a hotel guy, and it won. The game won. He was the luckiest human being on earth. Like,
we were talking about that today. Oh man, I forgot we're talking about Baltimore and Pittsburgh. Let me go to Maddie from the College Kids. Did I go to you yet on this one or no?
Yeah, I didn't like anything on the game.
Batman, who do you like here?
My second favorite play of the week. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to use 5 linebackers in this game. 5. They're going to rush 3, 5, single man up. Lamar Jackson can't throw the football. Pittsburgh's going to win this game. Mark it down. 4.5 is golden.
So wait, time out. We got a 3-team money line parlay, you're telling me? What do we got? The Jets? No, you like Cincinnati. My bad. All right, so you like the Jets and the Steelers here? A little 2-teamer.
I like the Jets. I like the Lions. Yeah. Sign me up. I love it, man. I think now look, I mean, if I could have got 2.5 or 3 on Baltimore, sure, I'm gonna lay it. At 4.5 in this matchup. Come on, man. We have to take Pittsburgh in this matchup. I mean, 4.5 is enormous in this matchup. I mean, look, I know.
I thought it was a lot last week. I'm going to be honest. I thought it was a lot last week. I thought it was.
I like Pittsburgh plus 4.5 this week, man. I think their defense is going to stop Lamar Jackson. I think it's going to be a close game. I think 4.5 is a great bet.
All right, let's go to the next game on the screen. 471, 472. Jacksonville to L.A. Is 13 points enough? I don't know. Dave Mason, is there any sharp money on the side or total here? And how's the public betting this one?
Nothing sharp as of yet. The spread action is pretty 50-50. 53% is on the Rams. 71% is on the under.
Rooster, I know you don't like the dog in this one. I mean, 13 points? I don't know.
I can't lay it. Let's put it that way. I mean, I do like the Rams here. They have to win this game. It's a must-win for them, which is rare for a 7-4 team this time of the season. But I don't know. Trevor Lawrence, I can't give up on this kid. I don't know what it is. I think he's going to be a great player. I see some signs of greatness. He's got nothing around him. I think he can cover 2 touchdowns on his own shoulders. So if this thing gets to 14, I'm going to jump on the Jags. If not, it's a no bet.
8-Ball, do you like anyone in this matchup?
I like the Rams here. They've lost, I think, 3 games in a row. I think they come in here, they make a statement, they get back on track.
Maddie from the College Kids. Who do you like? Do you like the over at all? Do you like the Rams? Who do you like here?
I like the Rams minus 12.5. I'm with 8-Ball here, and I'm with Jimmy. Jimmy, you said monster. Rams minus 12.5.
Jesus. Batman, do you like the Rams too or not? Is it consensus?
Love them in this matchup. Here's the reason why Jacksonville can't do anything. It's if you go look at next-gen stats, and, you know, with me having time like I've never had before, I've been looking at some next-gen stats. Their separations on wide receivers are the worst in the NFL. I have never seen wide receivers not have any space at all whatsoever. I mean, Trevor Lawrence has no chance. It's not Trevor Lawrence. It's these guys got to be open, man. This is his first year in the league. Give the guy some help. I mean, this, you know, if they're blaming Trevor Lawrence, and to be honest with you, I don't know if it's scheme, you know, in the routes that they're running. You know, I mean, they have a really high-level quarterback coach, high-level coordinator. You know, these guys have performed at the highest level in the NFL. Darrell Bevel and a couple of the guys from Seattle. I mean, these guys aren't dummies. You know what I mean? These wide receivers can't get open, man. And now you're talking about Jalen Ramsey covering one of these guys and the other guy covering them. I like the Rams, and I think they're pissed off. I think 12.5 is a great bet. Like the boys said, I'm with 8, and I'm with TCK.
All right, let's go next game on the board. 473-474. San Francisco travels to Seattle. Dave Mason from Bet Online. Any action on this one? Any sharp action?
Nothing sharp as of yet. 61% on the Niners, 54% on the over.
Rooster, are you going to back Seattle again this week?
I haven't given up on Russ, but the rest of the team is terrible. They have no defense. Absolute must win for the 49ers. I hate laying anything on the road, but I like the Niners here. I'm going to lay 2.5 and juice. Again, rare for me to bet a favorite on the road, but in this situation, I like the Niners.
8-Ball, San Francisco looks really healthy. They look like they're clicking on all cylinders. Their offense put up a ton of points against a pretty good Minnesota team. Who do you like here?
I love the Niners. I took 2.5 on this game. I think their running game is going to run all over Seattle the same way Gibson did on Monday night. I don't know if Russ is hurt or he's playing scared of getting hurt again, but he doesn't look right. He's missing throws he normally makes. I like the 49ers. They're peaking right now.
Maddie from the College Kids. Who do you like here?
Read totally Niners minus 3. Russ is playing scared. He's playing a little off. You can tell, you know, he's just missing guys. The guy's wide open. He's just not throwing to. He's forcing it down the field. And how are you going to force it down the field now if Metcalf's not even playing? I mean, they didn't practice Metcalf. They have Gabe Jackson, who was injured on the injury report. So that doesn't help if he's playing scared. He's going to have pressure going on him. I like the Niners minus 3. I think Niners run on them. Niners.
Batman, who do you like here?
I absolutely love the hat, please. San Francisco, man. The defense played 84 possessions on Monday night. 84 with no substitutions. There is no way that San Francisco doesn't run for 230 or 40 plus yards. Elijah Mitchell, whatever his rush yardage total is, I'm betting that over. The touchdowns of him scoring an anytime touchdown, he is going to absolutely dominate this game. I love San Francisco in this spot. I'm with the boys, you, Rooster, 8, TCK. Hell, I might fly to Philly. We might all walk down for another 150,000 on the 9.
Let's fucking go, baby. All right, let's go to Thursday night before it starts. Cowboys against New Orleans. It's up to 6.5. I mean, it's a big number on the road, Rooster. But let me go to Dave Mason first. Dave, how are they betting this one?
Cowboys big 6.5, 71% on the Cowboys, 80% on the money line. Cowboys at minus 268. Over under is pretty choppy, 54% is on the under.
Is this another big teaser game for you guys?
Oh, absolutely. This will be keyed on so much stuff. So bonus points if Saints could win outright, that would be lovely. That would crush a lot of losing teasers tonight would be nice.
All right. Like I said, Rooster, this line's, I mean, it's kind of high. Who do you like here?
Well, until about 1 o'clock today, I was going to give out a huge move on the Saints. I loved them until 1 o'clock when the Alvin Kamara information came out. Taysom Hill without Kamara is not a winning recipe. Taysom Hill needs the middle of that field to be scared to death. Kamara coming out of the backfield, him running the ball around the edge. Those linebackers would have to peel out wide. Now they're going to be sitting there waiting for this guy, and he's a one-trick pony. Short passes, he's accurate, very short. They're not going to do anything down the field. Without Kamara, this is Cowboys or nothing for me. I wish I laid 4. I thought about it. Now it's going 6.5, even plus 7 at home. I'm afraid of. It's a Cowboys or nothing for me on this.
Let me go to 8-ball. 8-ball, the point spread is the great equalizer, and it looks like it might hit 7 here, but at 6.5 in the market. Who do you like, 8-ball?
Took the Cowboys minus 5.5. The Saints are dealing with a bunch of injuries. Taysom Hill's first game of the season. He didn't play that great last year as well. Dallas getting Amari Cooper back, CeeDee Lamb back. I think Dallas rolls tonight.
Maddie from the college kids. Who do you like?
Sheep's on New Orleans plus the 7 and over, but I'm on the opposite side. I like the Cowboys minus 6 here. Amari's back. CeeDee Lamb, I think he's going to play. And then, Rooster's right. You look at Alvin Kamara. What's Taysom Hill without Kamara and his 2 offensive tackles? It's going to be a tough day for Taysom Hill. I think the Cowboys just have too much firepower for this New Orleans Saints team right now. I think they roll on them.
Batman, is 6.5 points too much?
Man, I don't know if it's enough with those 2 tackles out and now Taysom Hill in there with no Kamara. If they had Michael Thomas and the wide receivers and guys that could create separation, space, and speed, I'd feel different. And, the Saints are really good against the run and the defensive metrics up front. They are not very good against the pass. I think you're going to see Dallas throw the football all over the field. I think it is an upgrade for Mike McCarthy not to be there. I think these guys will let it fly. I think there's no bullshit tonight. I think they're really upset with what's happened. I think this is a great spot. I think the public wins the game here. I like Dallas. I bet them. I bet the Saints at plus 7. Early in the week I gave that out, and then when it got to 3.5, I did it minus 130. But I did it for double. I came right back over the top times 2, trying to get lucky in the middle of the game. But I have way more on Dallas than I do the New Orleans Saints. So I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan tonight on the road.
Good stuff. All right, let's go to the next game. A battle for the AFC East here. Monday night. Patriots look unstoppable. That defense looks unreal. They look like the 85 Bears going up against Buffalo, who also has a great defense. Dave Mason from BetOnline. Is it a little too early? Is anyone betting the game yet?
Yeah, actually, a lot of action. This is going to be a huge volume game. 63% on the Patriots as of now, and over under 50-50. There was some sharp on under 44.
It seemed like it dropped a little bit. It's down to 42.5, 43 at BetOnline?
Yep, exactly.
Let me go to 8-ball first. 8-ball, I know you talked about this team in the beginning of the year of possibly getting to the Super Bowl, of winning the AFC East, of going over 9 wins, of making the playoffs. You gave it all out on Twitter for free. And now it looks like they're playing some great football. How do you feel in this matchup against Buffalo?
I think New England plus 3.5. I took them as soon as the line dropped. I still love them at plus 3. Josh Allen, over his last 4 games, he's thrown 7 interceptions. He's going to play the best defense he's played in his entire career. They're giving up, I think, 15, 16 points per game. The D-line's playing great. Secondary's playing great. The linebackers. Bill Belichick's going to double Diggs. He's going to take him out the game. He's going to single up everyone else and make Josh Allen beat him. I love the Patriots here.
Maddie from the college kids, who do you like?
Yeah, this number's right on the nose. I mean, 2.5, 3 right there. It's a tough game. It's going to be a good game. I'm going to be, very excited to watch how Josh Allen responds against this New England defense that's been, terrific. They've been awesome. And I think 8-Ball might be right. He might make some mistakes. And if New England wins the turnover battle, I think they can win the game. I haven't bet on it, but I do lean New England.
Let me go to Batman. Next, Batman. This one's a tough one, man. Buffalo at home. Two great defenses. Two teams that rank in the top 5 in opponent yards per play. Who do you like?
It's going to be 20 degrees. There's going to be 15-mile-per-hour crosswinds. I heard Mac Jones has small hands. I love the Buffalo Bills. This is the healthiest they've been in the entire year. Both offensive linemen are coming back. Their shortstopper, Star Lotulelei, is coming back. They're going to put pressure on them. I absolutely love the Bills in the spot -2.5. I think it's one of the best bets of the entire year. When I saw this game made 3.5, bet down to 3, and now come to 2.5, I am all over the Buffalo Bills. I think this is one of the best spots in the entire league in the NFL this year. I really believe that on Monday Night Football. I love them.
Let me go to Rooster next. Rooster. These teams almost similar records, similar point differentials. New England could be 10-2. I mean, they almost beat Tampa Bay. They should have beat the Cowboys. Buffalo Bills have been underperforming a little bit this year. They, odds makers expected them to win a lot more games. I think their regular season win total was set at 11.5. I'm not sure they're going to get to 11 games. Bill Belichick, he's been known to take away your best weapon on the field. Who do you like in this matchup?
This was a tough one. When I first looked at it and it opened 4, I did lean Patriots, but the Bills are healthy finally. And, I really like Allen. I think he's going to be a player in this league for a long time. The Patriots are in the driver's seat. This is not a must-win for them. When you look at the rest of their schedule, they're going to coast. Their last 2 games are easy wins. They got a couple of easy wins before that. I like the Bills at home here. I'd lay 2.5 and some juice. I think it may go down to 2.5 because everybody's so. Anytime all the sportscasters change their mind and all of a sudden the Patriots are going to win the Super Bowl, then there's a letdown. It's amazing. It happened with the Eagles 2 weeks ago. The Eagles,
Buffalo.
they're going to win the NFC East, and they're so good now, and everything changed, and now boom, they're right back in the shitter. And I think the Patriots get a wake-up call this week.
Yeah, I mean, you made a great point. It happened with Buffalo a few weeks back. They became the favorite in the Super Bowl, and then they went downhill after that. All right, I want to thank everyone for listening. Last week we had over 4,000 people watching and listening. Thank you, guys. We continue to grow week to week. Dave Mason from Bet Online, if you want to let everyone know where you're at or any kind of special you got this week coming up.
Check me out on Twitter at Dave Mason BOL. Get on over to betonline.ag and sign for an account. Get on over to the promos page, all sorts of good sign-up bonus, everything from 100% for your crypto deposits to 50% for other methods. Fastest payouts in the industry. Buy crypto
Batman,
within minutes.
Batman, any bonus plays that can go down to Bet Online and bet?
Yeah, I got a couple of them. I'm gonna throw a little UFC at you. We haven't done a UFC in a while.
UFC.
There's one fight I really like. Rafael Fiziev is fighting Brad Riddell. Brad Riddell's like +105, +110 in most markets. I absolutely love Brad Riddell in this fight. That is an absolute burial in my opinion. I did play Georgia -3, even though the line is way up. If it gets to 7, I will absolutely be taking Alabama at 7 to try to middle that game a little bit. I'll still have more on Georgia. We are cheering in our UC future this week. If they win, in my opinion, they're in. Plus 5,600 to make the playoffs, given several months ago. That is incredible value. They've got a 98 or an 88% chance to win this game, metrically speaking. Hopefully they can do it. I do think that the 11 is too much in the game, so I lean Houston plus the 11, but I think UC wins to get it done. And I like Oregon, man. I know there's some sharps that are going to bet Utah in this matchup. I love the Oregon Ducks plus the 3. I think it's a big revenge game, and they get it done this weekend.
There you go. April, any NBA action since you're the NBA specialist?
It's an ugly one, but I like Detroit plus 12 tonight at Phoenix. No Devin Booker coming off a big game. I think Detroit can hang with them.
Maddie, you got anything extra for the guys watching and listening?
Nothing today, just Cowboys -6. Let's cheer it in.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot for the 8-ball, for Maddie from the College Kids, for Batman, Philly Rooster, who's over there getting drunk, and Dave Mason from Bet Online. Thanks for watching, and make sure to stop by the PhillyGodfather.com for all your sports betting needs. Good luck, guys.